push a horse or a man just so far. I don't usually push Scar to the limit, but this time a man's life depended on my testimony.
Sheriff Collin?
Yeah?
My name's Bonner, Vic Bonner.
Mr. Bonner, what can I do for you?
Well, I've got the proof here that John Delaney didn't kill Miles Rowley.
What?
Affidavits from 3 different people. He was with me that night, over 50 miles away. John?
You're too late, Bonner. Delaney was tried and found guilty. He was hung yesterday morning.
He was what?
The evidence was all against him. There was nothing on his side. The jury found him guilty.
But you hung an innocent man.
Innocent?
Read the affidavits. I had to look up the people that were with us that night. I've written day and night. Where'll I find his wife?
A mile out of town. South.
My name's Bonner, son.
So you're Vent Bonner, John's old friend.
I came as quickly as I could.
Did you stop at the cemetery and explain it to John?
The letter must have arrived late.
John wrote over a month ago. What's the matter, Mr. Bonner? Didn't you think it was important?
A month?
John counted on you. He knew every bit of evidence was against him. But he was sure his friend Vint would come through.
Mrs. Delaney.
You keep your hands off my mother.
You're making a mistake, Mrs. Delaney. You're blaming me for something I had no control over.
All I can see is a man who might have saved John's life. And didn't get here.
My mom wants you to leave, Mr. Bonner.
I can't say as I blame you.
Oh, Mr. Bonner, I'd like to talk to you. My name is Mason, George Mason. I defended John.
Oh, Mr. Mason, I'm a tired man. I'm going to get some sleep.
I heard about you from Sheriff Cullen.
And you probably know the rest of the story.
By now, most of the town has heard.
Couldn't you have gotten a delay?
I did, twice. But the town was kind of upset.
Yeah. Well, the town hung an innocent man because it was kind of upset.
May I give you a little advice?
Mrs. Delaney just gave me some advice. She advised me to leave town.
Mrs. Delaney was right.
Well, I'm going to get some sleep, and I want to go over the whole case with you.
For what reason?
Because I'm going to find out who killed Miles Rowley.
Mr. Bonner?
That's right.
I'm Judge Wayne. May I come in? I understand you were a friend of John Delaney's.
I was.
I've been a judge for almost 30 years, but I never thought I'd live to see such a day as this. A day I'd find out that I had condemned an innocent man.
The jury found him guilty.
But I was the one who sentenced him to be hanged. You may not be able to understand this, but I was a good judge.
Look, Judge, I don't know who's to blame. Maybe you are. Maybe the jury. Maybe the sheriff. Maybe the whole town of Dobie. But I'm tired. I'd like to get some rest.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bonner. But since you were a friend of John's, I wanted you to know how I felt. It wasn't easy coming here. Good night.
You see him, Judge?
Yes, I saw Mr. Bonner.
That's what I hear, right?
We hung an innocent man.
And this is Bonner. He's here maybe to make us pay for our mistake?
No, Jed. We'll do that ourselves, each one of us, from now on.
Yeah, well, some of us been talking. We figure this Bonner has said his little piece in order to get out of Dobie. We figure we won't be needing him around here anymore.
There's no doubt he'll be a conscience for all of us while he's here.
Jed, you're quick-tempered. Take it a little easy.
I got a right to think.
I'm not denying you that right. Just don't act. Bonner's reputation isn't founded on thin air.
Well, now, if I haven't found a gun yet I mind drawing against, Sheriff, I reckon I'll be doing what I think needs to be done.
Bonner, my name is Rossett. Bert Rossett. I was the prosecuting attorney. I asked for Delaney's hanging, and I got it. We did the only thing we could do on the evidence.
Well, now you've got another job. I want to go over all that evidence with you.
Bonner, wherever you belong, go there.
Mr. Rossett, there's a killer to be found. It's part of your job to help find him.
Maybe, but it sure isn't your job.
I brought the evidence to town that would save John Delaney's life, and I'm not leaving till the man that should have been hung is behind those bars.
People won't like it, Bonner. I'm warning you.
Bert's right. We'll find the man that killed Miles Rowley. It's our job.
I'm staying for a while. I want every fact you've got. I'll consider any man who stands against me as suspect. Now do you want me to leave?
No. I've got a conscience, too. But there are those in town who might just want you out of the way. Not the real killer, just people who are ashamed, who won't want you reminding them of it.
That's a chance I'll take.
You said you wanted to go over the testimony. Bert and I are ready, if you are. First off, Rowley always kept a lot of cash on hand. He didn't have much faith in banks.
John was way behind on the payments on his ranch. He was broke. George didn't get a nickel for defending him.
George? That would be George Mason?
Yes. You see, George was in kind of a funny position. What with being Rowley's attorney, he had to testify that there was $500 or $1,000 in the house.
I'll go on.
Rowley was shot twice with a rifle .45. When we picked up John, his gun had been fired recent and reloaded.
And it was proven that John was out of town.
Mrs. Delaney couldn't say where he was.
He was with me.
Well, we know that now.
I loaned him $500, the amount of the mortgage. Here's the note.
$500 was found on him when he was arrested.
How about the people at the ranch, the foreman?
Well, they were away on roundup. The place was deserted except for Rowley. I've got testimony here that says no man left the camp all night.
Well, you had a good case.
Good enough.
Something to think about, though. John was set up and trapped and legally killed. Whoever caused it felt pretty safe till I got to town. It may take a little while, but someone's going to start getting nervous soon.
Anything I can do, Bonner?
Keep your eye out for a nervous man. Mason, I'd like to talk to you.
Oh, sure, Bonner. Sit down.
Since you were Riley's attorney, I'd like you to take me out to his place.
I think that'll help.
Couldn't hurt anything.
When do you want to go?
If you're finished right now.
Let's get started.
Bonner!
He's a troublemaker, Bonner.
I've decided you're leaving town, Bonner. Now.
When I'm ready to leave, I'll let you know.
I heard with a gun you're quite a man.
I don't want any trouble. All I want is the man who killed Miles Rowley.
Where you hung him. I'm not too sure about you, Bonner. Or the evidence you brought.
Why don't you just give me a chance to work this out?
We're going to work this out right now.
Get him to the doctor's office.
Baldwin drew first, Sheriff.
It's the beginning, Bonner. Find anything?
How's Baldwin?
He'll live.
Look, Sheriff, when you questioned John, did he say why he used his gun?
He killed a snake.
Well, they had a Groot 45 in his cabinet, too. Did you check it?
It was clean and loaded.
That could have been the gun the killer used.
Possible.
I've covered everything. I'm about at the end of my rope.
Then you're leaving?
Not yet.
Well, until you do, I'm hiring an extra deputy. As long as you're here, I expect trouble. There's no use saying I don't.
I'm sorry, Sheriff. I didn't intend it this way.
When people see you, they see just one thing, Bonner. Their own mistake.
Good afternoon, Judge Wayne.
Mr. Wayne, I've resigned.
I'm sorry to hear that. I think you made a mistake.
Did you sleep well last night, Mr. Bonner?
Yes, sir, pretty well.
Well, until you know what it means not to sleep, don't tell me I made a mistake.
I hope you'll feel differently about this when it's all over.
It'll never be over for me. The years that are left will be haunted years. She'll be haunted in the same way.
It's the wrong way to the Delaney Ranch.
The cemetery is that way, Mr. Bonner.
Mrs. Delaney, I've got to talk to you.
Haven't you left town yet?
No, ma'am. And it's not easy to stay.
What did you expect?
I've got to have your help.
And why should I help you?
Because John's dead for a crime he didn't commit. I want to find the man who did.
All right, Mr. Boner. I expect John would want me to talk to you.
Thank you.
What do you want?
I've been over and over the evidence. I can't find a thing to point to anyone else. Not a soul.
Seems to me George Mason said some money was stolen.
There was not any proof there was any money in the house. How about relatives? Who stands a chance to inherit Rowley's ranch?
There aren't any.
Leastwise, nobody knows of anyone.
Thank you. You may have helped me.
I heard about the shooting this morning.
There'll be others who'll try.
I wanted to when you rode up to our house.
And now?
I hope you find Rowley's killer. That's all I want now.
Thank you, ma'am. Have you seen Cullen?
He just took Judge Wayne to the doctor.
What's wrong with the judge?
He shot himself. Is that what you want, Bonner? Are you going to keep walking the streets of Dobie until we're all punished? Because if you are, somebody's going to finish the job that Jed Baldwin started.
Judge is pretty bad. Doc doesn't think he can do much for him.
How'd it happen?
The judge hasn't had much to live for since you hit town.
Anything I can do? Money?
No, don't reckon he'll need much.
How about his doctor?
They were old friends.
Look, Sheriff, I think I've got a way to smoke out our man.
What is it?
It has to do with motive. Who stood a chance to inherit the ranch?
Seems to me Mason's been trying to locate the next of kin.
Yeah, but nothing about motive. Only talk of a large sum of money that was kept around the house.
What do you think the motive was?
I can't tell. But something might happen if you let it be known I was riding out to bring back an heir.
Have you found one?
No, but I'm leaving in the morning.
And you want me to spread the word?
That's it. Someone must have stood a chance to gain something by Riley's death. They wouldn't like a relative turning up.
Now, wait a minute here. How'll I say you found out about this heir?
Mason let me go through the house, through the papers.
But the killer, how does he expect to get the ranch?
I don't know, but it's something to do and a way to move.
And you think somebody might be waiting for you when you ride out of town?
That's it. Just say I'm riding north toward Hayworth. I didn't say anything about the name of the person or the address. I kept it to myself.
All right. I'm with you. Like you say, it's something to do.
Thanks. I'm leaving at 8 in the morning.
It sure beats me how he found anything. I thought we went over Miles's papers real good.
No, Bonner's a stubborn man. He don't give up easy.
Well, he's leaving Dobie, and that's good enough for me.
It's for the best.
One of these days you'll think different about him. You're so concerned with your own feelings, you forgot about his.
I didn't forget. You're the only one who had nothing
to be ashamed of? Is that what you want to say?
I guess so.
Well, there's no reason to believe Bonner, and papers can be forged.
Well, let's get back to the card game. He's leaving town, that's that.
In the back of your head and neck. The warning that makes the difference between staying alive and dying.
Put up your hands. Don't move and don't turn around.
What's the trouble, Mr. Mason?
I didn't make trouble. You came to Dobie. I'm going to kill you.
Just like you killed Miles Rowley.
Not quite. You're going after your gun before I shoot.
How long do you think you can keep it a secret about the air?
Just so long as nobody ever hears from anybody in Dobie.
You didn't kill Rowley for the few dollars he had at the ranch.
Hardly. I managed his business for him. I've been taking money out for years. Miles finally caught on. When he told me what he knew, I did the only thing I could do. I killed him with his own gun.
Then why defend Delaney?
Oh, I'm an attorney. Besides, I happen to know that my client was innocent. You should have listened to me and the people of Dobie. You might have lived if you'd left town.
Everyone makes mistakes.
Everybody but me.
You made one mistake. That letter I found out at the house.
I want that letter.
Take it.
All right, I can take it later. Let's get on with it. Drop your hands. Whenever you're ready, Bonner, make your move.
I may just let you shoot.
All right, have it your way. But if you draw, you might have a slight chance. I heard you were fast.
I could be fast enough. Why don't you worry a little?
Good thing I was close enough.
You heard
the whole story.
I'm glad you did. I'm afraid the town of Dobie wouldn't have believed my story about Mason.
I fired just in time.
You fired?
Why, sure.
I knew I could count on you, Sheriff.
Who is it?
Step on it, Jackie.
Better get back on your horse.
I came to talk to you. Would you put the gun aside? I know how you feel. I don't blame you. But I'm leaving town tomorrow, and I've got something I want you and your mother to have.
It's money.
That's right. You're the man of the house now, and I know your father would approve.
No, he wouldn't. Not from you.
How long did you know your father?
All my life. I'm 10.
Well, I knew him nearly 20 years, and I'm sure you'd take it.
I don't know what to say, Mr. Bonner.
Don't say anything. Just take good care of your mother. I'll be checking in with you. Say, when the wind stops, even a tumbleweed has to rest. And so it was with Leo Jepson, a man whose home had been his saddle.
Can you stay and visit a while, Vince? We're pleased to have you.
I've taken a job with a cattle firm up near Kingston. I'm leaving early in the week.
You're always welcome.
Thank you, Mary. You take good care of your mom, boy.
Yes, sir.
He sure has grown, Mary. More than half a head since the last time I saw him.
You just haven't seen him for a while.
Give another couple of years and he'll take over for you.
Gotta get to town. Arnold Kessler's been gunned bad.
How do you suppose it happened?
I'll see you in town, Mary.
Can we go see?
All right.
Was that Mr. Bonner went in there?
Yeah.
Golly, Kyle. He come up here just to see you?
Me and Mom and Pa.
Well, you're gonna fix it so's I can meet him this time, ain't you?
Yeah, I might.
Is he...
The worst kind of killing I've ever seen.
You can say that again.
Look at this.
His arm's nearly been blown apart.
6 bullets in it. 3 in the leg. He's been riddled from top to bottom, like a sieve.
Who in the world would do a thing like that?
Find the man who did it. Ask him.
Arnold Kester. I knew him.
Well, he's been trapping around here for years. Could be you seen him the last time you was in town.
Where'd he run his traps?
He's got a cabin up by Virgil Lake.
That's where me and Goff found him, sprawled out in the yard.
Did he say anything before? Anything at all?
Not a thing. He went out like that the minute we come on him.
What do you got on your mind, Ben?
Sheriff, let you and I take a look at that cabin.
All right. Sure he wasn't robbed. There's beaver pelts all over the place. Find something?
Come here, take a look at these prints.
Could be Kester's. Could be anybody's.
Belong to a man with a crippled right leg.
It's for sure the right one ain't as clear as the left.
Come on.
Where are we going?
Your office, take a look at some of the old files.
What do you expect to find there?
The man who killed Kester.
What are you stopping here for?
Going over to the office and pull out those files. You went in here a minute.
Right.
There you are. You kept it off right away for me? All right. Well, give it to me. Son.
Oh, yes, Pa.
Find something? Whose name are you looking for? Look, Vint, I'm the sheriff of Mount Verde, remember? Now, if you've got secrets about this, keep them from somebody else.
Will Gerard.
You say something?
This should tie the knot, Tim.
Who is this fella Gerard?
A vicious, cold-blooded killer. Leo and I hunted him down some years ago. Over near the Halapaya Reservation.
That was over 8 years ago. What's this Gerard got to do with Arnold Kester?
A couple of posse members got to him before we did. Shot him up pretty bad.
Well, what about it?
He kept saying that he tried to surrender. But the people were scared and they kept up a steady fire. He had one leg ruined and he lost his right arm.
And Kester over there dead with his... This fella Gerard, wasn't he hung?
No. He was given life and sent to the state prison.
And you figure he busted out, huh?
The answer to that should be at the telegraph office now.
Mr. Bonner! Mr. Bonner!
Whoa there.
Telegraph for you, Mr. Bonner.
With the speed and service you offer, you don't need any telegraph wires here.
You called it, Vint. You called it real good.
Prisoner described, killed guard, escaped past 24 hours. Will Francis Gerard, dangerous. Utmost caution, W.L. Meade.
So we got us a killer. Nat Corey. Vint, he lived just outside of town.
Which way?
You think Gerard's going to try for him, too?
Let's not waste any time thinking.
Corey. Dead?
Dead. Shot 6 times through the right arm.
Fine. Just fine. He pulled it off just like we invited him in.
And he may not be through yet. There's still Leo Jepson.
Leo? Leo's a long time dead.
Yeah, but his wife and boy aren't.
You don't think that...
How can you tell what a mind like that would do? Look, go to town and get some boys for a search party. I'll go on ahead out to Leo's. I'll see you there.
Told him about that telegram, Mr. Bonner. Figured that Kyle and his mom would want to hear about this escaped murderer.
You just give all kind of service, don't you, boy?
Vin, do you think this man might have come to Mount Verde?
Looks that way, Mary. He's already killed 2 men today. Arnold Kester this morning and now Nat Corey.
Good Lord.
Golly, why do you want them, Vint? Or is he just killing whoever he comes on to?
He's got another reason. Mary, I'd like to talk to you alone before the posse gets here.
All right.
Up to Kyle's bedroom, both of you.
Sit down. I don't think there's any danger to you.
Here they come! Mr. Bonner, here they are!
So they are. They're looking all over town for you.
Well, Ma knows I'm here. She said I could stay the night if Kyle's mother didn't mind.
It's all right, Mr. Mass. We enjoy having Donnie with us.
We're prepared to search every nook in the county till he's found.
That's good, Tim. We'll leave a couple of men here, front and back.
Right.
It's like I said, Mary. It's just a precaution.
Oh, we'll be all right. You just be careful.
Mass, you stay here and cover the back of the house. All right, men, let's move out.
All right, back to bed.
I can't hear a sound out there. Can you?
Mm-mm. I don't see why we can't take part in the hunt.
We ain't old enough.
Who ain't old enough? Maybe you ain't old enough.
I'm as old as you.
Yeah, but I can handle a rifle good.
So can I.
Not like I can.
Who says so?
That deer I shot Monday. That's who says so.
Why, heck. I let you have first crack at him.
Yeah, and I got him. Clean.
So would I have.
Maybe. Bet you we could sneak through.
Huh?
Through Pa and them others. Sneak right on by.
What for?
Well, I don't know about you, but I bet Vint and the sheriff could use our help right now.
Well, then why didn't they ask us?
What? With my pa standing there?
Well, you can go ahead if you want to. Not me.
Oh, you're just scared is all.
I ain't scared of nothing you ain't scared of.
No? Then what are we waiting for?
An hour. What do you want to do?
Well, go on, naturally.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Where's your hunting spirit?
Back in my old bed.
Look, all one needs a little rest. Bet you even Mr. Bonner rests now and again. I feel better already. You?
Yeah.
5-10 minutes. That's all we need.
Take it easy, Ron.
He's got him. He's got Carl.
Take it easy, Donnie. What do you mean, he's got him?
Like I say, he's got him. And he's holding him. For you.
For me?
That's right. He's wanting you, Mr. Bonner.
Where is he?
He took Carl up to Kester's place. And he's wanting you to meet him up there. Or Carl's gonna be dead.
How do you know Vint was here?
I told him. He was acting real nasty. And I said if he didn't stop that, Vint Bonner would get him. But good. Must be something wrong with him. 'Cause after I said that, he acted real happy.
What are you talking about, boy?
He said getting Vint Bonner would make up for Leo Jepson being dead. Golly, I'm sorry me and Carl stirred up all this trouble, Mr. Bonner. We was just wanting to help out.
Save your sorry for when your pa gets back. Then you'll have something to be sorry for.
Never mind that. How long ago did he leave for Kester's place?
About an hour.
You better go inside. You're bone cold.
He said if you don't go up there alone, Mr. Bonner, Carl would be dead, with no questions asked. I think he means it, 'cause he said he don't care nothing about his own life.
Vint, you're not going in there alone, are you?
That's what he ordered.
Ordered? That man's a vicious killer.
Well, what do you expect me to do? Let the boy die?
Vint, what are you going to do when you meet him?
Mary, I don't know.
I think it doesn't matter. Because it's hopeless.
Don't say that. Nothing's ever hopeless. Now go on inside. How do you face a man who lives for only one reason, to take what has been taken from him, and who now holds a young boy to ensure his taking it? If it's true that nothing is ever hopeless, then there had to be a way out somewhere, somehow. I guess it was just up to me to find it. And I didn't have much time.
Pull up, Mr. Bonner! You alone, I take it?
I'm alone.
I'm sure Mr. Bonner's here all by himself. Because we all know what it'll be like if he ain't.
I tell you, I'm alone, Gerard.
Hey, you remember me. You remember my name. Well, I remember you. You and them others. What you done to me.
I didn't do anything to you.
Well, maybe not direct. But you allowed it to happen.
Allowed what?
There's no need to talk about it now. We know what it was.
If you're talking about getting shot up, Leo and I got there after it had happened to you.
Well, now, that ain't the way I remember it.
Then your memory's bad.
Hey, that's right. It's bad. Bad for you. Now get down. Slow. Drop your gun, please.
The boy gets out of here first.
Now you just do as I say.
It was supposed to be me for the boy. You're going back on your bargain? Stand easy, Kyle.
Here now, I'll give the orders. Drop your gun.
Gerard, aren't you satisfied? You've killed enough men.
You obey me, here? That's right. Now move over a little, huh?
Why do you want to kill me, Gerard?
What? Well, I don't want to kill you. I just want your right arm. So at night when you feel for it, you'll remember it's gone. You're laughing. What for you laughing at me? The others cried. But you go on. You go on. Keep laughing. Just stick out your arm. Yeah? Just stick out your arm! Or this boy's dead!
Hold it, Gerard.
Your arm. Boy, where's your arm?
I got it shot off 2 years ago in a gunfight.
You're lying! Bonner, you're lying! Get your arm! Bonner!
It's true, Gerard. I'll show you.
No. No, no!
It's all right, boy.
Man, I thought we were going to get it for sure. How'd you know it would work?
I wasn't sure. But I knew he had only one goal, and if we had a chance, that had to be it.
How do you mean?
Well, generally when you take a man's goal away, it upsets him for a while anyway.
Yeah. If there ain't no place to go to, a man sure can't get to it.
That's the idea, but you've got a place. That's home. Come on. Every once in a while, as you travel, you run into a water hole that's been poisoned. Usually the reason isn't too hard to find. But I wonder how the human mind gets poisoned.
Lee! Brett wants you. Now.
When will you learn how to address a lady?
When I meet one.
What's the matter, honey?
Does every message from you have to come through that pig?
Loma? Why, Lee, you know Loma's the best there is with gun and muscle.
I know about the muscle. Look at that.
He put his hands on you.
He invited me up here the same way he throws out drunks.
Don't worry, I'll see that he stays away from you after this.
Sure, Brett. You wanted to see me. What do you want?
Haven't you forgotten something?
What?
This.
Oh, please, I'm sorry, but not now. Please. You always have to spoil it.
I've got to know that you love me. There can't be any doubt now, Lee, do you?
Please, you're hurting me.
Do you love me, Lee? You used to now. Do you love me?
I want to. Oh, I want to. Brett, have you forgotten that love also means having respect for the other person's feelings?
I'm sorry, Lee. It's just that I couldn't stand to lose you, that's all.
May I go now?
Yes. I'll see you later.
Yes.
Tell Loma I want to speak to him.
me?
Yes, Lomer, will you sit down, please? I'd like your opinion on something.
Why, sure, Brett. Anything I can do.
Take a look at these.
Sure. You coming out of your mind?
Not me, you did when you put your hands on Lee.
Now, you got me all wrong.
I got exactly what you are, and I have for a long time. Now, you get this, and you get it good. The next time you touch her, you're going to find yourself with a head full of lead.
Okay, Brett. Okay. But you didn't have to set me up with that paper trick.
It's just to let you know I can outthink you anytime I want to.
Hi there, Lee.
Vint, where have you been?
Oh, moving around easy. What's the matter? You got troubles?
Nothing I can't handle. You're 2 months since we saw you last. I was beginning to think you'd taken a dislike to our fair village. How are you, Vint?
I'm fine. But I asked first. No scars, I see.
Please don't. You going to be with us long?
No, not long. I'm delivering some books to settlement, not far north of here.
Books?
Yeah, school books. I ran into this man down at Jolly's Post about 6 months ago. He and his people buy their supplies there. Funny talking folks. They call themselves Quakers. Anyway, seems they're the only people out here that think it's more important to teach a kid how to read and write than it is to shoot a gun. The books were late in arriving, so I told this man I'd drop them off for him.
What man?
This Quaker fella, named Thomas. What's the matter?
Nothing.
Well, nothing wouldn't turn you that pale.
Well, just, I haven't had anything to eat today. We've been so busy. Really, it's nothing. It's just that I'm just so tired.
Go on back, Ed.
What's Bonner doing with your girl? Want me to take care of him, it'd be a pleasure. Now, if I caught anybody messing with my girl...
Fred,
You haven't had your dinner yet, have you, Lee? Well, why don't you go on back? I'll entertain Mr. Bonner while you're gone.
Hello, Brett. I see you still have your bulldog with you.
Nice to see you again, Vint.
You mind if I lean against the bar? I had a long ride today.
Well, I hope you can stay longer this time.
Why?
Well, I thought perhaps we could get to be better friends.
Better than what?
You and Lee have a nice talk?
If you call talking about the weather having a nice talk, we did.
Wonderful girl, isn't she?
Did you find that out before or after you beat her up?
Oh, you know about that.
I know about that.
Well, that was 3 months ago. I'm very sorry about it. We're really very happy now. You can ask Lomer if you don't believe me.
If I'm going to ask anyone, I'll ask Lee. She'd tell me the truth.
That's all right, Lomer. Bonner's been on the trail all day. He's a little bit shaky, that's all.
I don't need your help. As for you, Lomer, I just don't like you. I never did. So anytime you're ready.
Oh, come on, Vint. Let's wash down the past. Look, have a little drink on me. Come on.
I don't like you either. I never did like women beaters. Keep your drink.
This is the beginning.
I'm sorry, Mr. Thomas, that I was a week late in getting here.
We prayed that we would live to see this day. The weeks to us are but moments. To the children, they are eternities. Already their hearts are full. Now they will begin to learn more of the world and their place in it. But forgive me, friend. Thee surely is tired from thy journey. Come into our home.
Thank you.
I would we could pay thee for thy service.
But I told thee that... I told you I was coming by this way anyway. I enjoy doing it.
Won't thee stay with us a while and let us repay thee in the ways we can?
There is much a man like thee could teach the children.
I'm afraid there's some things you wouldn't want them taught.
Friend, the beliefs we live by make us happy. We do not say that others must believe the same. We only hope that they too will find peace.
That's a very generous attitude.
We believe that today's generosity and patience are the beginning of tomorrow's success.
Thee will stay for supper.
Smells too good not to. But I'll have to leave right afterwards.
We are sorry. Jeremy, would thee set the table?
Let me.
No, friend. Thee is a guest.
Well, let the guest be a friend. I'll bet school doesn't start, Jeremy, till you've read each book twice.
Great minds who took the time to record the good and the bad of life so that we might learn to tell one from another.
Mr. Bonner, would thee bring the candles from the desk?
Of course. Who is this?
That's our daughter, Emily. Lovely, isn't she?
Where is she now?
She's dead. These past few years now.
It was a great loss, Mr. Bonner.
Lee, I'd like to talk to you. Privately.
Private here.
Not private enough. Please.
All right. We can talk in Brett's office.
Lee, I just came from the home of some people named Thomas. Jeremy Thomas.
So?
There was a picture of a girl on the mantel in their home. Their daughter. She looked exactly like you.
It was me. So now you know.
All right, I know, but I don't understand.
Did you tell them about me?
No. I wanted to be sure.
Thank you. Are they happy?
They're fine. Why, Lee?
It doesn't matter now. Believe me, it's much better this way.
You mean Brett Dixon is better than...
He loves me, Vint.
He loves you. That's love. Break a girl's arm, black her eye, beat her up. That's love.
You just don't know his other side. That was 3 months ago.
And you do.
I'm not sure anymore. I loved him very deeply in the beginning, I know that.
The beginning? When was that?
My family had sent me to school back in Missouri. One day I was walking in the country just outside of town, and I was hit by a carriage. Brett's. I almost died. He was so wonderful. So tender. He never left my side in all those critical months. We fell in love.
I see.
It was true. I loved him. I didn't want to be separated from him. And yet I knew that I could never bring a man like that, a gambler, back home with me. I had him send word to my people that I was dead. I wanted to be with him. That was all that mattered. Then after we came out here, I saw the way that he changed. I don't know. Maybe it was greed. But I couldn't desert him any more than he could me when I needed him. I prayed that my love could change him back.
And it turns out that you're the one who changed.
I know. That's why I can't let my people know I'm alive. Don't you see? They have strong principles. To them, I'm dead. And it's better that way. They'd never take me back now.
I think they would.
No. Don't you see? If I left Brett, he'd become as brutal and inhuman as Lomer.
He's no different than Lomer now. Just better dressed.
I can't believe that.
Lee, I think you mean you don't want to let yourself believe it. Let me take you home.
No. I must keep trying.
But Lee, if you...
Please. Let's go.
I think I like you better this way, out in the open.
Lee is my woman, Bonner. I'll give you exactly 5 minutes to get out of this town alive.
Brett, we were just talking.
Go ahead, Bonner. Follow through. I just love that. Lomer, take her to her room. Lock the door.
You're good at beating up women. Or when the odds are with you.
I couldn't handle you without this gun.
Looks like we're not going to have the chance to find out, doesn't it?
I just want you out of this town quick. If you ever come back again, I'll put a bullet right through your head. Now move out.
You like it? Does it feel good?
Get him out of here.
We should have killed him.
No. It'll attract too much attention. Besides, he knows I will next time. Let's look in on our little two-timer. Give me the key.
He's gone.
He's riding double. Pete would never give him a horse without my permission. Riding double, but where to?
When I heard him, Bonner said something about taking her home. The way he sounded, he must have just come from there.
Home. Wait a minute. Any Quakers living around here?
Ed might know.
Yeah, Ed would know.
That's far enough, Bonner.
What do you want, Lomer?
Get on off that horse or I'll shoot him out from under you.
You might have to do just that.
That's where you're wrong, Bonner. Get down, Lee.
Hold on, Lee. Hold on tight.
He's dead, isn't he? Isn't he?
I'm afraid so.
Because of me.
That's not true, Lee. He was a man who was bound to end up just the way he has. It's not your fault, you understand?
It's not as easy as that. Don't you see? How can I go home now? I let them think I was dead. And now with blood on my hands, how can I
Lee, listen to me. Things happen we have no control over. Sometimes what you think of as evil is just an accident. Can you see that?
Will you help me? I don't think I can do it alone.
Of course I will.
I can hardly believe it.
I know it's a shock, Mrs. Thomas, but that's the whole story. It's just the way we told you. Mr. Thomas, the other day you said that today's patience and generosity are the beginning of tomorrow's success.
Thee is right, Mr. Bonner. Anna, that which was lost is found. She who was dead is alive. Welcome home, daughter.
Well, I figured I'd handle about every job there was until Tom Higgins asked me to bring his 12-year-old nephew, Dudley Higgins, to his ranch. The boy's father, a Confederate officer, had been killed in the war, and his mother was dead.
Stu. Oh, it's nice to see you. I tell you, I want to find out all about your trip. I want to tell you some things that did happen.
Well, how was the trip? Dry and hot. Well, son, this is your Uncle Tom and your cousin Michael.
Thank you for inviting me, sir.
You look just like your father.
Please don't talk about my father.
Take it easy, boy.
I knew I had a cousin in Virginia, but I never expected to see him. We're gonna have fun.
Thank you.
Well, who we got here? Tom, don't mean to break into this family reunion.
It's all right, Arthur. I want you to meet my nephew, Dudley Higgins.
I know all about your nephew, Tom. My wife's been telling me all about him. They come up in the stage from Virginia together. My name's Stewart. Arthur Stewart.
Pleased to meet you, sir.
My wife's been telling me how kind you were to her on the trip. I own the general store. And if at any time I can do anything for you, you just come a-running.
Thank you. Arthur Stewart. Are you any kind of Jeb Stewart, the Confederate hero?
Could be, boy. Could be, but I'm not sure.
Where'd you hurt your leg?
Oh, Chickamauga?
How can you live here in the North?
Well, I like it here. Did I say something wrong?
No, you didn't.
It was a long trip. New faces and places.
I understand.
Help your cousin put his things in the buckboard and be pleasant. Think I did wrong sending for him?
No. It'll take a little patience.
I aim to have it.
You're Dudley. You know, I'd recognize you any place. There's no mistaking that family resemblance. You must be tired and hungry after that long trip.
Michael, let you and I take Dudley to his room. Come on, Dudley.
Michael bought this for Dudley, and he threw it away.
What's that? My father carried this flag at the Battle of Chattanooga. Found him at General Bragg at Lookout Mountain. My father was killed at Lookout Mountain. And maybe the bullet that killed him was fired by your father.
That's not so. My father was never at Lookout Mountain.
He was in the Union Army, wasn't he? He killed him.
Hold it, you two. Now, let's not fight the war all over again. You go on downstairs until we come.
He started it.
Get. Well, where are we hanging?
I think I'd like it over the bed.
Pour over a little. How do you like that?
That'll look fine. Real fine.
Well, after we have some lunch, we'll get a hammer and nails and put them up.
I'm not hungry.
Well, maybe you're not hungry, but I am. Your aunt's a real good cook. You're going to like her.
I didn't want to come here.
Well, you can make it any way you want to.
How?
Your aunt and your uncle are real nice people. Of course, they won't replace a mother and father, but if I were you, I'd figure I had it real good. Now get your feet off the bed.
Come on, Joe, run out. Everybody off. Come on.
started all this?
He was asking for it. He said the Union Army didn't fight fair. That's why we won the war.
You think you're fighting fair now? 5 of you against 1?
I'm sorry. We should let the 2 of you fight it out alone.
I don't want to hear any more about fighting. I think you owe Dudley an apology. Now, shake hands.
Sorry.
Go on, Dudley. You too. Mike. Go on, Dudley.
Tom, I'm worried.
Dudley?
4 days now, and that boy still hasn't come around. He's fighting and grouching and never a pleasant word.
Yes, I know.
You know, our house has been turned into a battleground.
One small boy against the world.
You have no right to say that, Ben. We've done everything we could to make that boy feel welcome.
Sometimes when he doesn't know I'm watching, you see, he looks at us as if he could shoot us right on the spot. There's a lot of hate in that little boy.
Yeah. Maybe if he had something of his own. Something to love, to take care of. Maybe the hate would go away.
Why can't you tell me?
Have a little patience, boy.
You're sending me away?
Nope, not like that. How do you like him?
I've seen better.
Oh? Think you could ride him?
Easy.
Let's give it a try.
Like I said, it was easy.
What are you going to name him?
Doesn't he have a name?
Yeah, Sunshine, but I figured if you're going to have your own horse, you'd like to name him yourself.
My horse?
That's right. Your uncle says every boy should have a horse of his own.
My uncle said that?
That's right, that's what he said. Ask him yourself.
I like the name Sunshine just fine. I can tell this has never been a battlefield. How can you tell? Have you ever seen one? Lots of them. Like coming up from Virginia, we saw overturned cannons and grave markers. I seen my daddy's marker. I'm sorry your father got killed in the war. He died a hero. I'm sure he did. But do you know how it happened? Sure. I'll show you. But we're gonna need guns. Well, why guns? Well, what good's a battle without guns? Doesn't your dad have them? Sure, but if I so much as touch him, I'll get hided. I can't tell you about it without guns. Okay, I'll get them. These are real fine. Here, you use this one. Let's see. Okay, this goes off the Lookout Mountain. And down here is the Union Army and all your men. Okay, there's 3 generals in the Union Army. Hooker, Thomas, and Sherman. And up here all we got is General Bragg. Now we're just south of Chattanooga. Now we've dug in to keep you from moving into the city. Get it? Got it! Okay, you be General Sherman, and I'll be my daddy. Now he's in an advanced position defending the mountaintop. Get into position now. All right, the sentry had given warning the Union Army was preparing to attack. So my daddy raised that standard and moved forward. Thousands of men were behind this banner, ready to give their lives to fight off those men down there. Shooting started. Bang! 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 Okay, charge me.
Get the doctor, quick.
Oh, no, not Mike.
Open the door.
Can't let him die. You've got to do something, Dr. Harris. Michael? Michael, can you hear me?
Take her downstairs, Tom.
Oh, he's still unconscious. He looks so pale.
Take her downstairs, Tom.
No, I'm not going. He needs me.
The doctor knows what he's doing. He'll be all right.
Come on, Gloria. The best thing you can do is let the doctor do his job.
What happened?
That's a long story. I'll tell you about it later. How is it?
Oh, it looks a lot worse than it is. He'll be all right.
Good.
And if you hadn't brought Dudley here, this never would have happened.
Now, Gloria, calm down. You're getting yourself too excited.
How can you stand there and be so calm? Michael might die.
He's not going to die, Mrs. Higgins.
You're just as much to blame as Tom is. If you hadn't given him those guns, you mean he's going to be all right?
Yes, ma'am. He's going to be all right. And I didn't give him the guns.
Well, then where did they get them?
I don't know. I wouldn't go up there if I were you, Mrs. Higgins.
Well, then I'm going looking for that Dudley. And when I get my hands on him... Dudley! Dudley, where are you? Dudley! Don't try to hide. I know you're here. Dudley! You better come out here if you know what's good for you.
Please calm yourself, Gloria. I was afraid of that.
What do you mean?
His horse is gone.
He's run away?
Run away? Tom, you go get the sheriff. You tell him what's happened. That boy's got to be punished.
Now, Gloria.
Do you want me to get the sheriff?
What good will that do? You've got to let me find him. Let him tell us what happened.
But he shot Michael. Isn't that enough for you? Do you want him to kill Michael next time?
I'm sure it was an accident.
Accident? Oh, I wish we'd left him in Virginia. That's where he belongs.
Mrs. Higgins, he's part of your family now. You asked him to be. You let him run now and you'll destroy him. You've got to let me find him. Let me bring him back. You brought him here to give him a new life, a new home. You're responsible. Take one bitter, mixed-up little boy like Dudley and multiply him by 1,000,000. Well, who's going to build this big new country of ours? Please, Mrs. Higgins. Well, Tom, it's up to you.
Find the boy. Bring him home.
What's on your mind, boy?
Mr. Stewart, when I came into town and I met you, you said you like it here.
That's right.
But you're from Virginia. Didn't you like it down there?
Sure I did, boy, but that's all in the past. Now I come here to make a new life for myself and my family.
Do they like it here?
They got to, boy.
I don't like it here.
Well, you have to give it time.
My aunt and uncle, they don't like me.
Well, you got to give people time to get used to you, boy.
I don't have to wait around to make my mind, Mr. Stewart. When no one likes you, and no one wants you.
Now, what makes you say that, Dudley?
I know when I'm not wanted. That's why I came to see you. You're the only one I know from home. I know you'd understand.
Understand what?
Why I'm running away.
Running away?
This is no place for me. I just wanted to say goodbye.
Now, Dudley, if something's happened, if anything's wrong, you can tell me all about it.
Nothing's wrong. I'm just gonna run away.
Run away. I did that once, but I made a mistake. You know what I did?
What?
Well, I didn't get prepared properly. It's a long way back to Virginia. First thing you have to do is eat a good meal and take along plenty of provisions and get a good night's rest. I'll tell you what. Why don't I just fix you something to eat, and then you can spend the night right here in the store, and then tomorrow I'll help you to get ready for your runaway. What about that, boy?
Please, don't tell anyone I'm in here.
You better hide. Go over there. Come in. Hello, Vin.
Hello. Dudley been here?
Dudley?
Yeah. I thought he might have come by here. Has he been here?
Why, what's wrong, Vin?
Well, I got a hunch he's running away. I thought he might stop to say goodbye.
Well, why would he be running away?
Oh, one of those foolish things that kids do. He and Michael were playing with guns, and one of them went off, and Michael got wounded.
Oh. I think I'm beginning to understand.
Of course, they shouldn't have been playing with the guns in the first place.
Now, Bonner, you get out of here. You get on your horse, right off. You leave me be.
There's no need for you to run away, son. Your uncle wants you to come home.
What about Aunt Gloria?
They both want you to come home.
I don't believe you. You're trying to trick me. Michael's dead. They know I shot him.
No, he's not. He's only wounded, like I said.
Stop! Don't take another step. Don't make me shoot you.
You're going about it the wrong way. If you really want to learn how to handle a gun, I'll be glad to teach you. But that's not the way, not with both hands. I know how it is. Coming to a strange country. New places, new people. Takes a lot of getting used to. Believe me, son, we've all got a lot to learn about each other. Now give me the gun. Let's go home, boy.
I don't want to go in.
You afraid?
No, I'm not afraid.
You didn't do anything on purpose.
You're just saying that. They made you bring me back.
Gonna get on by yourself, or do you need some help?
I don't need any help from anybody.
Come on, then.
Where have you been? Answer me.
I don't belong here.
You and Michael, you had guns. Where did you get them?
We took them.
Michael should have known better. Didn't he say anything to you?
He said he'd get whipped, but we decided to do it anyway.
Well, I guess he was right. You ought to get whipped.
Tom, you didn't ask the boy what happened.
We know what happened.
Dudley, I want them to hear it from you. You tell them the truth. Did you do anything wrong? On purpose, I mean?
We took the guns. I guess that was wrong.
Yeah, but I mean about the shooting.
I don't know what happened. We were playing. I heard the gun go off in my hand. I didn't mean to shoot him.
I believe him, Tom.
I didn't want to come back.
Ma!
Oh, Mike.
Ma!
Michael, you shouldn't have come down.
It's okay, Ma. It's only a scratch.
You might have been killed.
We were just playing, Ma. It was an accident.
It was an accident. It was an accident. I know now, son. It was an accident.
It says somewhere that a word fitly spoken is better than apples of gold in a basket of silver. You know, that makes a lot of sense. As the railroads moved west, so did the cattle trails. And often as not, they left towns that once roared like a lion, but now lived out their days as sleepy as a sun-baked cat. Sand City was such a town, and my friend Marshal Roy Stanton had earned his right to enjoy its peace and quiet.
You Marshal Roy Stanton?
That's right.
I don't like your town. Get your dirty feet off the table. I might want to use it.
Mr. Bardeen wants service. You hear? Now get behind the bar where you belong.
He say Bardeen? Bardeen of the B-Bar B down in Texas. I hear tell you used to be pretty rough on the B-Bar Bs.
There's a crew old Bart Bardeen had. Hey, wait a minute. How about your boy Bud he used to talk about?
He's Mr. Bardeen to you, old man. Tell him, Bud.
My dad said this is one town that couldn't be treed. I don't believe that.
Now, I'm going to tell you the same thing I used to tell your daddy. You have your fun, but don't shove.
Mr. Bardeen likes good whiskey.
I think Mr. Bardeen had better get it in some other town. Well, Vent Bonner.
Roy, how are you? So you're the great Vent Bonner.
Well, I'm Bonner. Just leave it at that.
Hey, now you got your big one, bud. That right, Bonner? You a big one? Or do you just sit around with the old man there talking about how big you used to be?
Son, why don't you just leave it alone?
Mr. Bonner! I don't feel like leaving it alone. I feel like tearing this town apart.
I'll buy you boys a drink. Maybe you'll feel better.
I'll handle it.
I'll kill you for that! With what? You want a reputation, don't use me.
I'm not going to be using this shoulder for a while. You say you knew the boy's father, huh?
Yeah, he was a big man. He was tough, quiet. He was honest, though. Ben, I'm worried about that kid with Bud. He's going to beat it straight back to Bardeen. He's going to lie about this killing to save his own hide. They're going to be looking for you.
I got a right to explain how it happened.
Ben, you can't just tell a man his son has to be killed. Not until he's had time to think.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I'll play it your way.
Best, man.
I'll let you know where I am in case they want me. Peligroso, a young, dangerous one. Time healed my shoulder, but not the mark of that needless killing. I made up my mind. I picked up Bud's things Art had been holding and started the long ride south. The B-Bar B had been a big and important spread, but it looked as though time had changed that, too. Holster's a little low for you. And your gun's a little heavy.
What do you want?
I'm looking for the owner of this place.
You found me.
Oh, well, I heard you were taking on hands.
Another gunman, huh? There's been a dozen like you around here since the word got out.
Well, I'm afraid you got me wrong, miss.
Well, right or wrong, you're too late. I've already hired a man to kill Vint Bonner. No Bardeen ever sent a man away hungry. Go on around to the bunkhouse and wash up.
Thank you.
What'd you say your name was?
Well, I didn't say, but will Jones do?
All right, Jones.
Thank you.
Bang, bang. All day, every day. Best ranch in the country falling apart by the minute, and she's banging away on tin cans.
Where's the rest of the crew?
Rest of the crew quit. That's where they are. Them that didn't quit when Bud was riding roughshod over everybody quit when she started hiring killers. Been on this ranch 30 years. I can't stand it no more. Watching her killing herself with hatred. Why, I used to hold that girl when she was a baby.
Hired guns come high.
High enough she spent ever since she had trying to pay them.
Well, whoever she's paying isn't doing the job.
How could you know that?
Because I'm Vint Bonner, and I'm not that hard to find, and no one's looking for me.
That's a poor joke, friend.
Take a look in that bedroll. Bud's gun's in there. Some of his other things.
to kill you.
Not with an empty gun, you won't.
You knew it was empty. How come you're so all-fired anxious to take it away from me?
I don't like a gun pointed at me, even an empty one. When Bud held it, it wasn't empty.
Well, Jones, I don't know what to think. All I heard around here for 3 months is Vint Bonner, Vint Bonner, Vint Bonner. Oh, how come you throwed that name at me?
Because it's my name.
If you was Vint Bonner, what would you be doing here?
Maybe trying to prove that I didn't kill a boy in cold blood.
Won't do you no good. Not with her, anyway.
But with you?
Ever raise a colt? Looked like he was going to be the best gall-daring cow horse in the whole country. In spite of anything he could do, he turned out to be a killer.
That was Bud.
He wasn't no good, I know that. I think maybe Laurie knows it too, but if she admits it, it's like admitting she failed at something she had to do.
Another killing isn't going to cure anything.
Well, maybe it won't cure it, but it's like taking a pill to keep you going. You hadn't killed him, somebody else had had to do it. It's just that he wasn't worth what he's done to Laurie.
Look, Fisher, I took something away. I didn't mean it that way. It just turned out. But I'd like to try and put something back.
Well, I reckon I can understand that.
You know, this isn't a bad ranch.
Bad? Why, if the proper man was to pitch in here, there's cattle left. If a man was to round them up. And I ain't never seen a fence yet couldn't be fixed. I've seen 20 men in this bunkhouse in the old days, and I've been up that cattle trail a dozen times myself. Why, I know Sand City. Oh, that's the place it happened, ain't it?
Say there was a young fellow with him.
Oh, Collie Smith.
Yeah.
Why, he come back here and told Laurie that you shot Bud in the back just to get a notch on your gun.
Almost came out the other way around. Where is this collie?
Well, she sent him with this gunman, Craig, his name was. You know him? Well, Collie was supposed to identify you, and then he was supposed to see that you was really dead when this Craig come back here to collect his final payment.
Gives a man a funny feeling to be talking about his own funeral.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess it does at that. Oh, Laurie. Laurie, I've been talking with Mr. Jones here, and, well, he's kind of down on his luck, and sure could use a job.
Can't pay anything, you know that.
I wasn't thinking about money. I was more interested in a place to bed down and some steady chuck.
Maybe if we had some help, we could still ship a few cows.
Try it a few days if you want.
You know, if I do say so myself, things look a lot different than they did 2 weeks ago.
Something else looking a lot different around here, too.
Grant, I want you to move those horses down from the upper pasture.
Sure, Laurie. Things have begun to look like old times, thanks to Jones here.
Well, they'll look a lot more like old times when I have Vint Bonner's hide nailed to the barn wall.
Oh, honey, I know you think you're doing what your daddy'd want you to do, but...
Go and get those horses, Grant.
Yeah.
That old man sure thinks a lot of you, Miss Laurie.
Doesn't give him a right to do my thinking for me.
Maybe he's just worried about that man Craig you've got on your payroll.
You trying to run my business too, Jones?
No, ma'am. But I've been around quite a lot. You picked me for a gunfighter, remember? Maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong, but I've known a lot of men like Craig.
You figure he's just taking my money, don't you?
That's right, ma'am. I do.
I've known that for some time. I just wrote him a letter telling him I couldn't pay him anymore.
That's good. That means you're giving it up?
Giving it up? Why do you think I practice with that gun every day?
Just a minute, Miss Laurie. You're not going to face it out with a man like Bonner?
No, I won't face him. When I find Vint Bonner, I'm going to give him the same chance he gave my brother. I'm going to shoot him right in the back of the head.
I stayed on doing what I could, but I knew it couldn't last forever. Sooner or later, someone who knew me would drop by, or old Grant Fisher would make a slip.
Vint, if you could just straighten Laurie out. You know, the way you straightened the ranch out.
The name is Jones. You forgot again at breakfast this morning.
I know it. What are we going to do?
I thought I could talk to her by now. Explain to her how it was.
I've known that girl a long time. She sure don't convince easy.
I've got to change her mind somehow.
When I think of how she's changed. Why, 3 years ago, before her daddy died, every Saturday night there was 15 young men out here fighting over who'd take her to a dance. I'm telling you, Vint, this place was like a beehive.
The name is Jones. And I promise you the young fellows will be back, but let's get washed up. The drilling's up on the North Ridge.
How did Bud's things get here?
Martian up at Sand City sent him down. We didn't want to worry you about it. All right, I'd like to talk to you.
You're leaving?
No, not that.
I'm glad, Jones. I know it hasn't been very pleasant.
You had a lot on your mind.
For a long time. Dad's long illness. And Bud. Perhaps before that. I'm afraid Dad was pretty disappointed when his first child wasn't a boy.
Well, that's no reason for you to try to act like a man.
There wasn't much choice. By the time I grew up, the big cattle boom was over. I saw only one herd go up the Sand City Trail. We were always short-handed here, and so I did my part.
You feel like talking about Bud?
Yes, I think I do. Seeing these things here. Oh, Jones, I want so much to think he tried.
Grant said he had a wild streak.
Well, what do you expect? My father fought for every inch of this land. He had the wildest crew on the trail. That's all Bud ever heard. He worshipped his father. He was just trying to be like Dad, that's all.
Times change, Laurie. What's acceptable in one time isn't in another.
Well, murder never is. That's why I hate Bud's killing so. One more chance. Just one more chance and he might have straightened out. Why does a boy like Bud have to die? A killer like Vint Bonner goes on living.
Well, you never can tell. This Bonner may feel just as sorry about the killing as you do.
I'd expect you to say that, Jones.
Because you believe it?
No. No. Because you're good and kind. You always look for the best in people. Even in a killer like Bonner.
There's a lot of good in the world, Laurie.
In your world, maybe. But don't invite me to live in it. Because I don't believe it. doing here?
I got your letter.
Then you know you're fired.
No. I like the job. It pays well.
I told you I didn't have any more money.
I figured you could get more.
Well, I can't. I've paid you off and that's final.
Just a minute, lady. It ain't final at all. You made a bargain, and I ain't to see that you keep to it.
I gave you more than you earned.
Did you?
Yes.
Tell her, Collie.
I saw him do it. He killed Ben Bonner.
There was a final payment due when I killed Bonner. I came to collect. Want to talk about it inside?
You're lying, Collie. You lied about the way Ben Bonner killed Bud, and you're lying again now.
Well, Emma, you better prove it. She sent me with Craig to make sure he did the job, and I made sure. Now, get her!
Anything wrong?
You got to get out of here quick.
Why?
Well, Collie and Craig, they're here.
Maybe it's just as well.
You don't understand. He's come to collect.
But she said she paid him off.
The final payment. He claims he killed you.
You stay here.
I told you I didn't have it.
You got a ranch. That'll do.
That's what you were planning all along, isn't it?
That's right.
No.
You look. When you play a man's game, you play by man's rules. You made a deal and you're going to stick to it. You get a dead man, I get a ranch.
You're wrong, Craig. Twice.
What's your part in this?
A big one. I'm Ben Bonner.
Thanks for trying, Jones. I'm afraid it won't work. As Craig said, I made the rules. Collie said he did the job.
Collie's lying.
So Collie's a liar. Am I?
That's right. You're a liar, too.
Now put the horses away, Craig.
Where am I, Collie?
So, you're Vint Bonner.
That's right. That makes you a liar and a thief. Now get out.
Now, you wait a minute. We were talking business here.
Your business is over.
I don't see it that way. I had to figure to make some easy money without killing you, Bonner. You should have left it that way.
I told you to get out.
It looks like I'm going to have to take this ranch fair and square.
All right, Collie. You want to see a killing a day in Sand City? Now it's your turn.
No, Mr. Bonner, not me, please.
Go ahead, Collie. I'll make you the same deal I made Craig.
No, Laurie, you got it all wrong. I lied to you. It wasn't the way I said. He didn't shoot Bud in the back.
And it was your fault, wasn't it, Collie? You gave him the gun. I shot your brother. After he'd shot an old man and shot me in the back. I didn't want to tell you this way. But maybe it's the only way that'll work. Your brother was a rotten, no-good kid, just like this one. They were two of a kind, and you knew it. When you admit that, you'll start to live again. If you refuse to admit it, well, here's a gun. Use it. It's the only way out.
Go on, Laurie. Get him.
Get out and don't you ever come back. The truth isn't always easy to face, Mr. Bonner.
Nor easy to say.
I just wanted you to know that you're right. But I couldn't give up hope. And I didn't while Bud was alive. But after he was gone, I had to cling to something.
I can understand that.
I know I don't have the right to ask you, but... Well, if you could stay on a little while longer, maybe we could get those cattle down.
Well, I think they could be arranged. On one condition.
What's that?
Well, Grant here tells me that the boys used to be pretty thick around here Saturday nights.
I don't understand.
I hear there's a dance next Saturday night. I have a feeling that the boys will be coming around again, but just to make sure, I'm going to take you to that dance.
That would be very nice, Mr. Bonner.
Now, if she'll just quit trying to be a man and remember she's a woman.
Oh, I don't think you'll have to worry about that anymore. Saturday. You know there's a full moon next Saturday night?
Bob Jefferson, whom I'd worked with when he surveyed the railroad route through Gorson Pass, had asked me to look in on Father Luke at Santa Rosa Mission. Said he wanted to talk to me. I couldn't figure out how he knew me in the first place, and since I hadn't had much to do with priests, I was a little nervous.
Come in, come in.
Father Luke?
Yes, and you must be Mr. Bonner.
Yes, sir.
Come in, Mr. Bonner, and make yourself comfortable.
Thank you.
How long has it been since you were inside a church, Mr. Bonner?
Oh, well, too long, Father.
Well, we're human in spite of what some people say. Please, sit down and relax. I'm sure it must have been a tiresome trip. A little wine, perhaps. We make it ourselves. We're very proud of it.
No, thank you. Father, I understood you wanted to transact some business with me. The word I got was urgent.
If it's business you want, business you shall have. Mr. Bonner, I sent for you because your name has come to stand for courage and integrity in this territory.
How can I help you?
Ours is an order of missionaries, Mr. Bonner. Some of us, myself included, have established missions in the most remote parts of this country. One such mission has not been heard from in much too long a time. I have been assigned to go to that mission and see that all is well with the priest.
Well, that shouldn't be difficult for you, Father. If I were to guess, I'd guess you to be an experienced trailhand.
You'd guess wrong. I've been concerned with other things. I need a guide, Mr. Bonner. A good one. I need you.
I'm not a professional guide, Father. Of course, if I knew the country...
I understand you know it well. Our trip will start here at Santa Rosa, go over into Arizona to Santo Domingo.
Santo Domingo?
Yes.
But that's strictly Indian country. I don't believe there's been a white man in there for years.
There has been one, and I must find him.
Could be dangerous, Father. There are no trails. We'd have to make our own.
I'm prepared for that.
I hope you are. Well, the tally checks out just fine, Father. You've bought enough beans and meal to supply a whole army.
That's an interesting comparison.
I don't suppose you'd be willing to consider changing your mind.
I've put it off much too long already. There'll be no more delays.
That about sums it up. We're ready to move.
Oh, Mr. Bonner, there is something else that I should tell you.
What's that?
The supplies on that wagon are not just for the two of us. There will be others on the trip.
That's a welcome surprise to me, Father. We can use a couple of good hands on country like that.
No, I'm afraid you don't quite understand. Good afternoon, sisters. Please come in. Mr. Bonner, Sister Marquette, and Sister Teresa.
Mr. Bonner, I'm very proud to meet you.
I'm happy to meet you, sister. And you, too.
Indeed, Mr. Bonner.
Well, Father, I'm anxious to meet our passengers.
You just have.
The sisters?
That's correct, Mr. Bonner.
They are nurses as well as teachers. We are told that the Indian women and children are badly in need of such care.
They've been in need of such care for centuries. A little while longer won't make any difference.
A little while longer will bring snow, and that will mean the delay of another year.
Those Indians are hunting scalps, not reading and writing.
I don't hand out the assignments. I just accept them.
Father, it was bad enough to hope that you and I could make it alone. With these women along, we don't stand a chance.
You are a man of very little faith, Mr. Bonner.
I know the country better than you, Father.
You may know the country.
Excuse me, Father. May I have a word? Mr. Bonner, we have not come this far just to cause trouble. I think you know that. But we have our missions to accomplish. If we're successful, maybe it won't be so dangerous for the next ones.
Sorry I lost my temper. I realize that to ask a man to participate in a cause in which he's not really
Father,
a part...
Do you think these sisters know just what such a trip means?
I think we know, Mr. Bonner.
I think you don't, sister. Have you ever seen an Indian smeared with war paint with a scalping knife in his hand? Have you seen men and women staked out on the plain to die in the sun?
No, and I don't think you have, Mr. Bonner.
What can I do to convince you people?
Is it possible that I overestimated you, Mr. Bonner?
It's entirely possible, Father. I'm sorry. Good day.
Just a minute, sisters. I'll help you.
Okay, sister, let me help you. There you are, Father.
Good morning, Mr. Bonner.
You know, I still couldn't believe that you intended to make this trip.
Oh, there's one more thing. If you'll give me a hand, it'll only take a minute. Then you can be on your way and we'll be on ours, huh?
Mighty handsome bell, Father.
I don't suppose it makes any difference to the Lord. But a mission doesn't seem complete to me without a bell.
Or a priest?
Sun's getting high, Mr. Bonner. The sisters and I should be hitting the trail.
Hold it, Father. If I can't talk you out of this trip, well, least I can do is go along with you.
You have a very great talent. It isn't every man who can make one feel at home out in the middle of nowhere.
Think nothing of it, sister.
I think you should make some girl a very acceptable husband.
Coming from Sister Teresa, I would consider that a compliment of the greatest proportion.
Father, maybe you can tell me something. Why is it that women, all of them, always want to talk about marriage?
I would hardly consider that a basis for complaint, Mr. Bonner. Somewhere inside you, she sees a gentleness, a kindness. Like every other young woman, she doesn't want to see it go to waste.
But she's a nun.
And she's a woman, Mr. Bonner.
About 3 or 4 hours. We just as well stay there for the night. It's as good a place as any among these bluffs.
Well, now we'll get some rest, huh? Thank you. Thank you, Sister. You do wonders with these dried beans, Sister Teresa.
It's a simple formula, Father. A cup of beans, a little luck, and 2 very hungry men who would eat anything after 4 weeks on the trail.
Amen.
I've got a favor to ask, Father.
Anything at all, Mr. Bonner?
Well, it's this Mr. Bonner business. Would you mind calling me Vint? All these Mr. Bonners will spoil me for when I get back among just everyday folks.
Well, speaking for myself, I should be delighted. As for Sister Teresa, you'll have to take that up with her yourself.
Well, Sister?
I would consider it an honor, Vint.
Thank you.
Put it off wouldn't have softened the blow.
It looks like you've come a long way for nothing.
No, Vint. This is a beginning.
We are 2 men and a girl, Father. This was done by Apache warriors. They don't play by your rules.
Have we given them much chance?
What about the girl?
Sister Teresa may return with you if she wishes. That is a decision you will have to get from her.
Sister, we've come far into dangerous country. The Indians raided the mission once. They can do it again. If you wish, I'll take you back to your convent.
I know that you're only thinking of us. But what you see around you is not the product of defeat. It's more a reminder of all the work there is to be done. If I am to help, I must be where I am needed.
To do a man's work?
God's work.
Well, Father, you've got your bell.
A truly beautiful sight.
It's wonderful, Father.
50, 100 years from now, when men have forgotten the differences that caused the bloodshed here, they will still see the bell. But enough preaching for today. I think we owe ourselves a little celebration.
Him here. We've got to help him. We can't just leave him there. We can't leave him there. We've got to help him. But he's hurt. He'll die if we don't go fast.
Too late, sister.
No.
He's dead.
Not Father.
He's got an arrow clear through him. He was a fine man, but he was only a man.
And us? What about us?
We can wait.
It was a typical Apache trick to strike with terror and then wait for panic.
Anything?
I can't figure it out. They should have rushed us by now.
She was frightened, I think, but she didn't show it. She had real courage.
Is there any chance for us?
Some, maybe.
You can be truthful with me.
Sister, I don't know how many there are of them, but there's only 2 of us. These people haven't changed their customs for hundreds of years. To them, you'll be like any other white woman. They'll have no respect for what you wear or what you stand for.
This could be it. I didn't know what to expect, but this could be the bait. I decided to hold my fire. Since he was alone, I'd better not show my hand yet. Looked like he was wounded, but I had learned long before to never trust appearances where an Indian was concerned. Flowered shirt meant he could be a chief's son. He was hurt all right. Looked like he'd taken a bad fall.
There. That ought to keep it clean until he can get back to his own people.
You want to let him go?
Yes.
Let every brave in the countryside know that there's only two of us here?
I wouldn't be surprised if they know it already, Mr. Bonner. He's only a boy. I want you to let him go.
For the life of me, I cannot say why. But I did as she said.
I admire your trust, sister. But we're getting out of here, even if I have to tie you hand and foot to do it. If you're wrong, we'll be dead by nightfall. If I'm wrong, we'll live a little while longer.
And Father Luke?
I'll dig a place for him.
By his will, Mr. Bonner. I think he would like it like that.
This was borrowed time, all of it. By everything I knew, both of us should be dead by now. He broke the war arrow. I could hardly believe my eyes. That one act of Christian charity could conquer an Apache war party seemed impossible. Buffalo hides, blankets, each brought a peace offering. Sister, let me add mine.
Vint, I already have much more than I can ever spend.
Someday you'll have need of it. wish you would be safe. It says in the book that faith can move mountains. It seems more important to me that it can move people.
There was a lot of ready cash in horses that year. You rounded up a wild herd, broke them, hired some hands to haze them to market. All it cost you was the men's wages and a lot of long, hard days and a lot of short, weary nights. One man who made money that year was Olaf Berlin. For the first time in the 6 years I'd known him, Olaf was paying wages instead of drawing them.
Vint, how much you figure I'm gonna get off these horses after I pay you fellas off?
Olaf, I must have told you that a dozen times. You ought to know it by heart now. $3,000. Maybe a little more, a little less. Anyway, enough to get you home.
$3,000. Man, that'll sure go a long way in Minnesota.
Go quite a distance right here in Arizona, oh. Want to set him up when we hit town tomorrow night?
Well, for you, Quinn, the rest of the boys, but I ain't taking none. No, sir, not for me.
Not one little swallow, huh?
Not even one little swallow. If you fellas could see that farm back home, man, I have to see it to believe it. Lakes, fishing streams, and trees thicker than the bristles on a briar. And right paying in the middle of it, my paw's land. Cleared as clean as your hand. The wheat waving. That's what I've been waiting 6 years to get back to. Saving my wages every year
and blowing them on a party the first time you hit town.
Not this time, Vint. It's gonna be different. It's gotta be different.
Yeah, how come?
My pa hurt his back this spring. I gotta go back and help him on the farm. Hired man's let the whole place go to pot. You know how hired men are.
I know how this hired man is, thirsty. Come tomorrow night, me and coffee ain't speaking. Oh, I can see it now. He's standing in Jubal Carney's place with my foot on the rail and a little old glass of sunshine going down just smooth as cream.
That's enough, Quinn.
It's all right, Vint. He ain't gonna keep me from going home.
It was about time you got wise to something. This is home. For you as much as us. All the dirt and sweat and rancid bacon and weebly hardtack you can eat. You ain't no better and no different than the rest of us.
I think you're wrong, Quinn. I think Olaf's a green country farmer.
Used to be. He's just a plain dirt cowpoke now. Besides, ain't he a pretty big boy to be needing you as a wet nurse?
I hope that was an accident, Quinn.
Soon, Bonner. Real soon.
$3,200, Bill. Here, Bill, pay them off. I ain't much of a bookkeeper. $50.
Still going to set him up for us, though? That is, if Mr. Bonner don't mind.
That'll cover it.
And I'll leave your change with the bartender.
He won't be seeing the bartender. Just to make sure, Olaf, why don't you put that money back in the bank till you leave tomorrow morning?
Sure, Grandpa. That's a good idea.
That won't do any good.
They're still in there. I can hear them.
Hear 'em or not? Bank's closed. I suppose you boys run on about your business.
Well, Marshal, he just wanted to lock his money up.
You raise any more ruckus, I'm going to lock you up.
So that's your big, dumb Olaf, is it?
Look here. Not a good he's going to do us if he gets himself tossed in jail. Say your name's Berlin, eh? Yours?
Ed Bonner.
I've heard tell of you. You're in town hunting trouble.
I never hunt trouble, Marshal. Sometimes it has a habit of finding me.
They'd better not find you in this town. The hotel's right across the street. They'll lock up your money in their safe.
Come on, Olaf. Much obliged, Marshal.
You worry too much, Gwen. Things will work out. They always do.
Still leading the lambs to slaughter, boys?
No, I never saw you pass up your share of the lamb jobs, Dixie.
I guess I had that coming. Who's the lamb this time?
Big one. Plenty wool. Only hitch is he's got a ramrod. Won't let a man near him.
Doesn't have to be a man.
All right. What do you want me to do?
Like you didn't know.
You got a place around here where a man can put his money?
Sure, mister. We do it for trail crews all the time.
You sure that thing's safe?
Safe as a bank. Phew. No wonder you're worried. That's quite a roll.
Biggest one I ever had. Means a whole lot to me. You let anything happen to it,
Nothing's going to happen to it. Your room's number 12, top of the stairs. The boy will bring you hot water.
You coming, Vent?
No, I'm going out the stable. Seemed to me Scar was favoring one of his hoofs. And don't give him $1 of it unless I say so.
Why not? It's his, isn't it?
Yeah, but it wouldn't be if it was in his pocket.
You mean there's those that would try to separate him from it?
That's the idea.
Whatever you say, mister.
Pretty slick. Where'd you learn it? The carnival?
What are you talking about?
Well, you short counted me.
You got $50. 5 tens, just like all the rest of us.
5 tens, huh? 4 tens. Fixed to look like 5.
I'll say it again. You got the same as all the rest of us.
Yeah, only 10 of my 50's in your pocket, and I'm having it. Trouble found you after all.
Now listen to me. I didn't start this.
Didn't start it. Short count me and then like to bust my jaw.
Listen to me, Marshal. We had a run-in back at camp. He's still packing a grudge.
Sorry, Bonner. You can tell all that to the judge in the morning.
In the morning?
I'm afraid you'll be spending the night as a guest of the county. Let's go.
Mr. Bonner back yet?
No, sir, he isn't.
It's funny. Shouldn't have took him this long at the livery stable.
Oh.
Oh, hi, Quinn. You seen Vint?
Well, no, I thought it was with you.
Oh, he went down to the livery stable and ain't got back yet.
Well, maybe he's over in the saloon.
Him? After telling me to stay out?
Well, maybe you don't know Bonner like you think you do. If he's such a good friend of yours, how come he run out on you?
Run out on me? Oh, he didn't do no such thing. He's out here.
Just over there having a little glass of cheer on the sly, maybe. Oh, what do you care? He wants to get himself in trouble, that's his lookout.
Trouble?
Oh, now I hear how he cuts loose when he gets too many under his belt.
Whew. You mean Vint? I don't believe it. Still, maybe I ought to check up.
Wouldn't hurt none. I'll walk over with you.
Come on. You can take it. Come on, you're stronger. Come on. There you go.
Oh, the man's a regular bull, isn't he?
Hey, you ever see such muscles? Where'd you get them, Olaf? Lifting anvils for exercise?
Them farm muscles, Dixie. Harvesting the wheat and bringing in the hay.
Think I could wear this old garter around my neck?
It's a mighty pretty little neck, Dixie. I bet you could. Just like a necklace. Wish it's diamonds.
How come you only wear one?
Well, others around my money.
What money? You haven't stood a treat all evening.
That's right, Olaf. Till now, the party's been on us.
You know why I ain't spending. I gotta save my money for my farm. Besides, when I start buying drinks for the house...
It's kind of customary, Olaf.
Oh, stop bothering him and go find yourself another friend. Chances are he hasn't got any money anyway.
I got plenty of money. Only... What do you mean about find yourself another friend?
It's my job, Olaf. Getting the customers to spend a little of their extra cash. I thought you knew.
Never thought about it, I guess.
Well, don't think I like it. Every night I come to work here, I feel dirty. Oh, I tried other jobs when I landed here. They didn't even pay hotel rent, let alone save up a stake to get me back east.
Back east?
Ohio. I better do what Carney says before he decides to fire me.
Not while I'm here to look after you. You're gonna stay right here till I get back. And you ain't sitting with nobody but me. Not tonight, you ain't. I'm gonna show you a role you ain't gonna soon forget. Fire you, huh? You'll see about that.
Olaf, wait.
Hold my money.
Mr. Bonner said...
I want my money now. You understand me now?
But Mr. Bonner said...
I know, but I said I want my money.
He said not to give it to you.
Marshal, will you let me out of here? I'll pay Quinn the $10.
Oh, can't let you out after you're entered on the books.
But if I don't keep a check rein on Olaf, he's liable to...
I don't see why you have to. You locked up his money like you said.
Yes, I know.
Well, then there's nothing to worry about.
Well, you really did it this time. Where are you going to get another steak like that?
Don't rub it in, Vince. I don't know why you put up with a lunkhead like me anyhow.
That clerk at the hotel's a lunkhead. I told him not to give you the money.
Don't blame him. I made him do it.
Can you tell me why?
Well, they got the hoorah on me over at the saloon about not buying drinks for the crowd. And ouch!
Well, what were you doing there in the first place?
Looking for you.
For me?
Well, you didn't come back to the hotel, and I started looking for you, and Quinn said you might be over at Connie's place.
Quinn said? I think we ought to have a talk with Quinn.
We'll talk. Without this. Yours too.
Well, I'm afraid you got the wrong bull by the horns, Marshal. Why, Oaf's my friend. Why would I slug him?
For his money.
When a man has a bankroll, he generally spends some of it. That's something he didn't do. At least, not here.
Why did you steer him in here looking for Bonner? You know all the time I got Bonner locked up.
Look, it wasn't me that robbed the squarehead. Haven't been out of here since he left.
None of us have been out all evening. Right, Dixie?
I guess so.
You don't sound very sure.
They were here all evening.
You're lying. You're in cahoots with them.
That's enough of that.
You had your cry. You better vamoose while you're all in one piece.
I'm sorry I had to do that, Olaf.
You're sorry. Why didn't you swing on the ones that robbed me? You ain't even searched him yet.
Well, go ahead if you think we got his bankroll.
It's up to you, Marshal. But let me tell you something. I'm not used to having my place wrecked and being called a thief all in one evening. All right. Go ahead. Get it off your mind.
If they had it, it's buried too deep for us to find it.
You mean you're gonna let him get away with it? Well, I ain't.
You better lock him up for his own good.
Lock me up? Never figured you'd sell me out, Vint. Always figured you for a friend.
Come on, things will look a lot better in the morning. The way you're looking at him, you'd think he's gonna die. He won't.
The question is, what are you going to do about it?
What can I do? The way I look at it, you couldn't find a dollar of it now with a bloodhound. Bonner, I just can't go up and down that street out there going through people's pockets. When a man wears a badge, he's got rules.
Well, I don't wear a badge, and I've got one little hunch.
Who is it?
My name's Bonner. I want to talk to you.
You talk to me in the morning.
I'll talk to you now.
Just a minute. What do you want?
Almost $3,000.
The pay isn't that good at Carney's place, mister. Besides, there were other girls there tonight. Why pick on me?
You were with Olaf.
I'm not fooling, mister. You've got no business going through my things. Put it back.
Pay must be pretty good at Kearney's. One night's work?
Too many nights' work. All right, get out.
Gonna leave your working clothes?
If I ever wear a thing like that again... I didn't take his money!
I think you know who did. Was it Carney? Quinn? Both of them?
Leave me alone!
I'll leave you alone when you tell me what I want to know. Who put you onto him? Carney?
Carney paid me to work on all the customers, keep them spending. I didn't do it because I wanted to. It happens to be the only job that pays enough.
Pays enough for what?
To get out of this country. Oh, I know what you're thinking. What am I doing here? It's like quicksand. Easy to fall into and hard to crawl out of. I was going to be married. When I got off the stage, he wasn't here to meet me. He'd gone. Do you know what it is to be scared? Stranded and homesick?
I know how Olaf feels about Minnesota.
To me, it's Ohio. A little farm on the bank of the river. Close enough to hear the steamboats pass. The flowers in summer, bright as that dress I wear at Carney's. Don't you see I've got to get out of here? Can't you understand?
Olaf had a chance to get out, too. First time in 6 years. Now he won't make it. You will. He won't.
$50. That's what they gave me. Maybe it'll help. Carney and Quinn have the rest of it. Quinn will probably be leaving town tonight. He doesn't stay around long after the job's finished.
Thanks. I had to be sure. I just had a talk with Dixie.
Have to do something about that young lady. She talks too much.
Have to do something about him so he won't.
I don't know whether I'll get all this money back or not. But I'm going to take care of you too, Sharks. Make it easier on the next poor devil that comes down the line.
Remember back at camp, Bonner? I said soon. Well, this is it.
Where's the money?
I told you before, I ain't got it.
Where's the money?
No, don't hit me. I'll get it. I'll get it right now.
Thank you, Marshal.
Let's go. You mind me, only milk, all the way to Minnesota.
Don't worry, Mr. Berlin. I'm not working for Carney anymore. I'm going home, too. Thanks to Mr. Bonner.
He's a fine friend. An awful fine friend. Wonder if he's got any place to go home to. Like me and you, I mean.
Mighty lucky. Both of them.
was at Copperhead Wells, it was just a quiet little cow town. That's why I'd come there for a rest. But things had changed considerable. They'd struck silver near Copperhead Wells. I figured I'd call on my old friend Juniper Dunlap at the Sudden Dollar Saloon and pick up the latest gossip.
You like to prove it? Anytime.
But even old Juniper was having trouble keeping things peaceful.
Let's keep it a friendly discussion, will you?
Juniper? You put on a show like this every night?
Vince Bonner.
How are you?
Here to do a little prospecting?
I thought I'd get a little rest.
Well, I hope you make it.
What are you two boys trying to kill each other for?
Oh, that dumb hyena. Vince, you've been to San Francisco. Ever been to the Paradise Casino?
Oh, yeah, once or twice.
Tell Watkins about the picture they got hung over the bar.
It's a good-looking young woman, ain't it? Kind of heavy set. And she's stretched out on a divan combing these here long golden curls.
To tell the truth, I don't rightly remember the color of her hair.
Oh, you can't miss it. Them curls is all that's covering her up.
Juniper, would you tell me what this is all about?
Oh, Vin, I wish I hadn't let him. Look up yonder.
Saloon ain't a saloon without it's got a good-looking woman over the bar.
Yeah. Dunlap wouldn't pay for it, so me and Hooper took a collection.
Oh, and you, bought yourself a painting, huh?
No, we don't want nothing second-hand. We hired an artist.
Mr. Stuart Woolsey, all in clear from St. Louis.
I don't see anything funny about it. It'll only cause bloodshed.
Bloodshed? Why?
You don't know the commotion that it has caused. All of a sudden, my saloon is filled with picture experts. Why, I've stopped a dozen fights already over what the hair is going to look like, what the eyes is going to be like. Only so far, they ain't worrying about nothing but the face.
Well, I've got a great solution for you boys. Why don't you let the artist figure that out?
Yeah, that ain't a bad idea.
All right, we'll do it as soon as he's well enough.
Well enough? He didn't get shot already, did he?
No, well, we give him a little celebration when he got to town.
Celebration? Why, the poor man is in bed the whole livelong day.
Why don't you come and meet him, Vint? He's kind of a nice fella.
I wouldn't miss this for anything.
Oh, Vent, don't get yourself mixed up with them two fellers.
But, Juniper, I never met an artist. Except an old man in New Orleans. He did tattoos. Thanks for the drink.
Like I said, Vent, the hair was black. And you were 150 pounds on the hook.
One thing's certain. No more celebrations.
Those clodheads had no right to fill you full of red eye.
It's just that I wasn't prepared. You know, St. Louis, by and large, is a gentle town. Well, it was a hearty welcome.
Now it's just chicken broth. You try it, Mr. Woolsey. You haven't eaten all day. Come on.
You were at the party?
Yeah, I got roped into it. Don't you remember?
You know, I have a very foggy picture of the whole evening. Miss,
Lucy Collins. I work at the Copperhead Cafe.
Lucy Collins. Seem to remember talking with you.
Yeah. You were asking me to pose for your picture.
Really? I must have had one or two lucid moments.
You were ory-eyed.
Not if I asked you to pose for me.
You're still ory-eyed.
No. I'm perfectly serious. You have excellent facial bones.
I think you better have some more broth, Mr. Woolsey.
Oh, creamy pinks, yellows, I'd say. It's with a dark velvet drape trailing across your back.
Wait a minute.
I'd have to look you over by daylight.
Now, hold it 1 minute.
Try a number of interesting
Now,
poses.
you stop it right now. I know the kind of pictures they hang in saloons.
This won't be tawdry, I promise you. Could make you famous.
Well, I've been too famous already. Look, I'm flattered and all that. It's just I am not going to hang on some wall for every saddle buster to come in.
Don't misunderstand me.
Look, I've had my share of rough times, Mr. Woolsey, and I've come pretty close to getting a poor reputation. Once or twice. But I'd like to do better.
Look, I'm not asking you to do anything wrong.
Oh, no, just lie around on a couch all day in my creamy yellow.
Lucy, I want to paint your face.
Just my face?
Certainly.
Is there something wrong with the rest of me?
Oh, no, of course not. But a rare face. A beautiful face. You're a very lovely girl.
I am?
Yes, you are.
Woolsey!
Come in, but quietly.
You feeling better?
Much better. Lucy's been a great help.
Oh, yeah? Thank you, Lucy. Brought somebody to meet you. Mr. Stuart Woolsey, Mr. Vint Bonner.
Well, Vint's the kind of artist we got in these parts, Mr. Woolsey. With a gun.
Well, I'm sure Mr. Woolsey doesn't relish the comparison.
Every man to his talents.
We'll keep the gunfire down outside till your head feels better.
It's a real pleasure to know you, Vint.
Thank you. Hi, Lucy.
Hi, Vin.
You haven't even started yet.
Well, hardly.
We were wondering about the picture.
You see, what we wanted, Mr. Woolsey, is something like they got in San Francisco.
Well, maybe you should have hired a San Francisco artist.
Oh, no, don't take offense.
I can show you exactly what I'll paint if you insist. I'll show you the model.
The model?
You mean you're going to paint a real live woman?
Well, of course.
Ain't that a first-rate idea?
Well, I'd say you made a very good choice.
Not Lucy. You mean Lucy's gonna come here by herself? Well, Mr. Woolsey, in the San Francisco picture, the lady ain't dressed for company.
You fellas may have to help me persuade her.
But, won't folks know it's her?
Well, of course.
Well, I haven't said I'd do it yet.
I surely hope not.
Woolsey, you gotta be careful.
Lucy'll never do.
Now, do you want to tell me what's so all-fired disgusting about me?
Now, you know you can't.
I suppose I'm not good enough to hang on some saloon wall.
It ain't that. It's Boyd.
Boyd? Lively?
Sure.
Lucy ain't a free woman, Vint. Not altogether.
Who says I'm not?
Boyd, you know he won't let you come here with no
Boyd
stranger.
doesn't own me.
Now, Lucy, you just get somebody killed.
Who's scared of him?
Well, I am. Me and Hopper thought this thing up.
Now, hold it just a minute. Is Boyd in town?
No, he took some more to the county assay office.
But he'll be back in a day or so.
You're going to have to get somebody else.
Where do you get the right to tell me what to do or what not to do, Hopper? To stand there and tell me who my friends are?
Lucy, if you really are going with Boyd...
Then it's nobody's business but my own, and neither is this. When do we start, Mr. Woolsey?
Lucy!
You wanted a picture to grin at over your beer, didn't you? Well, we'll give you one.
Now, see what you got me into?
Man, it was your idea.
It was your idea.
Now, listen. I stood right in that saloon and told you what we needed was a...
You stood in that saloon. All I said was black hair. Black hair.
Oh, I told you it had to be the long hair.
Mr. Woolsey, I've known this Boyd Lively for some time. He's a real hard case.
Well, we're not afraid of him. Are we, Mr. Woolsey?
Well, I can generally take care of myself.
Good. Then I'll be here bright and early in the morning.
Lucy, don't you want to think about this? Are you sure?
Vint, people in this town have been snooping after me long enough. Now, if I want my picture painted, I'll have it painted.
A minute ago, you didn't.
Well, I changed my gol-dang mind.
Now you got me mixed up with Boyd Lively. Why didn't you stop it then?
Juniper, I didn't order an artist from St. Louis. I just came to town for a rest.
Can you blame him for being mad to come home and find his woman staring down at him from up there? Dressed like she was the day she was born? Look up yonder.
Well, Juniper, think of it this way. Maybe in a way it's kind of an honor.
Be an honor to get my saloon shot to pieces, I reckon. Look, Vip, now you gotta stick by. You gotta help me.
You gotta help us, Vince, or Boyd will kill us.
Kill us both. Look, if you're scared, why don't you pay Woolsey off and send him back to St. Louis?
We tried that. He says he's got a personal interest at stake now.
Yeah, well...
Oh!
The girl is an inspiration. I'm going to be at the top of my form, Vint.
Glad to hear it.
Last night, why, I could only see a fraction of her beauty. But this morning...
What about this morning?
The flesh tones, the texture. It does your heart good just to think about it.
Maybe we ought to talk a little about the picture you're painting.
Oh, it's too early, Vint. I couldn't possibly tell you yet.
Well, little things like, now, which way will Lucy be headed? Things like that.
You must never ask an artist to discuss a work in progress. Don't worry, Vince. You know, painting the female figure has been a high and noble art for centuries. Haven't you ever seen the great classic portraits of women? Don't you know Titian, Boucher, Rubens?
I know Quincy Rubens once down in Tombstone, Arizona.
Oh, no, it's not the same one. You know, I've always admired their old masters, but I'm learning something out here. You don't have to go to Europe to paint. Well, there's great beauty right in this frontier.
Yeah, like trees and rocks and mountains.
And people. Lucy, for instance.
That's what I thought you meant.
I really believe this job is going to be one of the best pieces of work I ever took on.
I don't know anything about the things you know about, but I know this country. And I know Boyd Lively. He can be mean.
Well, does that imply I'm to be afraid of him?
No, but out here a mean man settles his problems with a gun. Are you handy with a gun?
No. But you are. You'll help me, won't you?
So I wound up bodyguard for most of the town. And Woolsey went right on working on his painting of Lucy. Some time went by when we didn't see much of the artist or the model, but the afternoon came when we saw the man that nobody wanted to see.
Maybe Boyd will be reasonable about the whole thing. After all, he is kind of his horse.
Yeah, he is kind of animals.
Howdy! Howdy, Bonner.
Howdy, Boyd.
Did you have a nice trip, Mr. Lively?
You can bet your sweet life my old ass ain't even higher than I figured. I'm going to be a rich son of a gun. Well, why is it so quiet? Where's Lucy?
Well, she,
I had a long, hot trip. I need sociability.
Boyd, I'd like to talk to you. And I don't want you to get upset.
What is it, Vince? What happened to my girl?
Oh, nothing's wrong with her. She's out. Being painted.
Great day in the morning. What color? Who was it? Whose big idea?
Boyd, everybody sort of chipped in.
Somebody had to set things in motion. Dunlap?
Boyd, I swear.
It was me and Hopper.
You and Hopper? You and Hopper want to get beat to Kingdom Come? We never figured Lucy'd get mixed up in it.
We only wanted to do the saloon a good turn.
Yeah. With my woman? Fair as a butchered hog she'll be. I'll be the laughing stock of every grinning jackrabbit that steps up to the bar.
Now, boy, listen to me a minute. Look, Lucy never had much out of life, you know? Maybe this makes her feel kind of proud.
I don't care what Lucy feels. I don't want nobody laughing at me.
But I talked to this painter fella. He's all right.
Took over my woman morning, noon, and night, didn't he?
No, just a couple of hours a day.
That's long enough. He's down there studying her. Mighty careful, you can bet.
Boyd, look, it's not that way at all. He explained the whole thing to me. Now, let's see if I can remember. Well, in the first place, this painting business has been going on a long time.
Men been getting shot for it a long time, too.
But you don't understand. It's been the custom in Europe for hundreds of years.
Yeah?
Sure. A couple of fellows got real famous for it. A fellow named Tishman, and Rubens, Quincy Rubens, I think. He's got some relatives down in Tombstone.
What are you feeding me, Vint?
Well, all I'm trying to tell you is, Boyd, don't get hot under the collar. With these old masters, it was a compliment to a lady. It meant that she had the nicest skin, the nicest everything.
All right.
Boyd, and this means that Lucy's been singled out for something special. It means that of all the women in this town, she's got...
I said all right, didn't I? I mean to talk to her right now. Where's he got her?
Oh, she's probably over at the cafe by now.
What's she doing at the restaurant?
She got herself a job there.
She had a job here. She's really putting on airs, ain't she?
But, Boyd, you know she didn't like working here.
She's a saloon girl, that's all she is. I won't stand for her putting on airs.
Boyd, leave the gun.
What for?
It'll be safer.
Don't give me no trouble, Vint.
This is for your own good, too. Now, give me the gun. I'll go with you.
I haven't done anything wrong.
You expect me to believe that?
Well, I'm telling you, and you'd better believe it.
You're acting pretty high and mighty, ain't you?
Nobody runs me, Boyd. Nobody.
You're my girl.
Well, you have a fine way of showing your appreciation, bragging about me all over town, taking me for granted. At least Stuart treats me like a lady.
Stuart?
He's a gentleman.
Some gentlemen let you sit around all day without any clothes on. All right, boys, cut it out. Now, stay out of this, Vint. Look, don't start.
It's all right, Vin. It's all right. He can't hurt me anymore. Now you get your carcass out of here and don't you ever bother me again.
I'm gonna tear him apart.
Boyd, I'm not gonna let you go around beating up people.
Now, he stole my girl. I'm just gonna give him what's coming to him, and then I'm gonna tear up that picture.
I'm not gonna let you do it.
I ain't armed, Vint. You wouldn't throw down on me.
Afternoon.
This him?
Stuart Woolsey, Boyd Lively.
I want to see the pictures you've been painting, mister.
Oh, I'm sorry. It isn't finished.
I don't care if it isn't finished.
I do, though.
Now, listen.
Now, Stu, Boyd, let me...
It's all right, Vint. Let me handle this. Mr. Lively, it's an old rule of mine. No one ever sees my work until I'm fully satisfied with it. Now, this painting should be finished tonight or tomorrow. Meanwhile, I'm sorry. Told you I can handle myself.
You certainly can.
He won't be back.
Yes, he will. With a gun.
I can't force him.
Don't you understand? You'll be killed.
Not till the picture's finished.
What if he's armed?
Well, if he's armed, I'll accept a collaborator.
Stuart, listen. Is that all you can think about, a piece of canvas?
It's very important to me. Isn't it important to you?
Well, not enough to get you killed. Oh, it's all my fault. If I hadn't let you talk me into posing
I wouldn't have
for
missed this for anything, Lucy. Lucy.
Well, when can I see it?
Well, before long.
Do you think it's good?
Well, now, you're going to have to tell me that.
If it is good, will it be partly on account of me?
Mostly on account of you. You've been a real inspiration.
Wish I believed you meant that.
I do mean it. You still don't understand what a rare girl you are.
You've said that before. Rare.
It's true. The pigmentation, the highlights.
Highlights?
You see, when the light changes across your face. Lucy, are you in love with that clod?
No. I never have been. I guess I was just lonely.
I could paint you many times if you were in St. Louis.
Well, I could get a job there. Maybe.
You'd have a job. As my wife. If you'd have me.
I'll be back. Boyd, behave yourself. I don't want you, Vint. I want him. He's busy. I'm going inside.
Boyd, I want you to go on home. I don't want to have to hurt you. Now, go on home.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the patrons of the Sudden Dollar, we give you this token of civic betterment, the Princess of the West, painted by hand by Mr. Stuart Woolsey. Please draw the curtain.
Vint, there ain't a thing wrong with that picture.
Kind of figured it might be that way.
Well, my own mother could see it, and she's 92.
Lucy and Woolsey did like the storybooks tell. They lived happily ever after. And of course, you see pictures of her everywhere. Look for them if you're in the right saloons. You might enjoy them.
When he gets ready to leave, we'll be waiting for him at the hotel.
The horses are ready.
Must be close to 10,000 in gold in them saddlebags.
Only a kid pretending at all.
Let's drink it up. Let's all drink it up. Come on, we want some more to drink. Come on, old Jim's body. All right, come on, old Jim's body. Everybody's drinking.
Better have one, mister. Best 40-rod bourbon in the territory. Compliments of the young cowboy at the end of the bar.
I'll take it.
Go ahead, mister. Like the man said, it's the best 40-rod bourbon in the territory. I'm Della.
Well, Della, I'm Vin Bonner.
You just passing through, or will you be spending some time in our fair little town?
Just passing through. What's the occasion?
Oh, the kid's just celebrating growing up, I guess. Just trail boss's first cattle drive for his father.
Oh, I see. Where from?
Up north, San Mateo Range. About a day's ride.
San Mateo? What's his name?
Jim Winfield. Why, do you know him?
No, but I knew his father from way back.
You mean Cal Winfield, the gunfighter?
Ex-gunfighter. I'm gonna take him out of here.
Why?
Well, because his father's an old friend of mine. And because I know he can't afford to lose that money that the kid's throwing away, so... I'll see you later.
Drink it all up.
You got some catching up to do, mister. Name's Jim Winfield.
My name's Vin Bonner, Jim.
Heard my old man talk about you.
Come on,
I think you've had about enough, Jim.
You think I ought to leave, Mr. Bonner?
That's right.
Well, I'm just going to tell you something now. I ain't about to leave until I'm good and ready to.
Well, that's right now.
What do you think you're doing?
Now, wait a minute. You've got no right to force this boy to leave here against his will.
Sheriff, this kid's drunk. His father's an old friend of mine. He worked hard for this money. I don't aim to see it thrown away.
Well, I reckon he has had too much to drink.
Come on, Jim. You and I are getting out of this town.
You and I?
That's right. I'm going to see that money gets back to your father.
I ain't going.
Now, look, I saw the faces on those men down there tonight. They couldn't take their eyes off that money. You'd be bushwhacked before you're 10 miles outside of town.
Look, I said I ain't going.
Oh. I haven't seen your father in some years, Jim.
You mean since he reformed?
I had a letter from him a while back. Told me about his place. Asked me to drop by when I was in the neighborhood. He sounded real proud of it. Proud of you too, Jim. He said he couldn't have built it without you.
And that sounds just like him.
He needed the money. He told me about this drive. Needed to build his herd, money to pay off his hands, feed Bill. He risked everything he had on you, Jim, letting you trail boss this drive.
All right, you said your piece. Now I'll say mine. Did he tell you in that letter what it's like to be raised in a town where everybody knows your father was a killer? A hired gun?
It wasn't a hired gun. He was good and he was fast. You had to keep proving it. Your father and I are some alike, Jim. There's always someone pushing. The fact that he laid down his guns makes him the better man for it.
Did he tell you about how no decent folk come to visit? How about the girl I used to have that won't talk to me anymore? You want to know why? Because she found out Cal Winfield, the famous gunfighter, was my father. How many men was it he killed, Mr. Bonner? 17? 18?
That's all past.
Well, I'll never be proud of my father, no matter what you say. Besides, I made my mind up on that drive never to go back here.
Jim.
You take him the money if you want to. I won't be going with you. Tell him when you see him that I cut out for California. Oh, maybe I'll see him again someday.
That the way you want it, boy?
That's the way I want it.
Ted? You know who did it? Me and Pete were tending our horses back at the hotel. We heard a shot and run up here. Them saddlebags he had over at the saloon are gone. Didn't you see anybody? Well, we heard a horse running fast out of town. That fellow who calls himself, Bint Bonner.
How do we know those two didn't do it?
Then why haven't we got the gold?
Whoever killed the kid did it for the gold. The gold's gone, and so's Bonner. Think we better go after him.
Me and Pete don't like to see no kid killed. If it's all right with you, we'd like to ride along with you.
Glad to have you, boys. Let's get moving.
Well, kid, at least you had a going-away party for yourself tonight.
Howdy.
Say, what do you call this place?
Santa Lisa?
Looks like it used to be a mining town. Gold?
Silver. Portia run out.
I see. And when the silver ran out, so did all the people.
Reckon that's what makes ghost towns, mister.
Say, what do you call that animal?
Oh, well, you might call him a mule, only you'd be wrong. He's just an oversized burro. Oh, he might look like a heap of bones, but he's still got plenty of spunk left.
Do you live here?
Yep. I guess you could call me Santa Lisa's leading citizen.
I'm the only one left. Oh, I get enough out of the old mine to buy him a beans.
The day off, huh?
Nope. Today's something special. I'm getting me to see a gunfight. Might be a good one, too. Between Cal Winfield and a fella named, Vink Bonner. Ever hear of him?
Yeah, I heard of him.
Is he fast?
Some people say so.
Yeah, he better be, or Cal Winfield will cut him in half before he gets a good start.
Thought Winfield hung up his guns.
Oh, he did. One of Cal's hands come over here this morning. Said Bonner killed his boy, Jim, over at the hotel in Coachella. Took the pay for over 500 head.
Well, anyone see him do it?
I reckon so. Anyhow, the sheriff and 2 riders were here looking for him. Maybe they done caught him by now.
Yeah, maybe.
If he's caught up to, Bonner's a dead man. Cal swore he wouldn't leave the territory alive. Oh, you seem mighty interested in everything.
I'm a friend of Winfield's.
Who might you be, mister?
Vink Bonner.
Any luck, Sheriff? We've searched most of the valley. We'll find him.
Just remember, no shooting when you do find him. Unless it's me doing it.
What happened to the horse?
They come near bone attendant.
No wonder, the way you've been driving him all night. I know how you feel, Winfield, but you ought to let the law handle this.
Oh, meaning you, huh? This is federal territory, Sheriff. You got no more jurisdiction here than I have, and don't you forget it.
If I was to take him into Coachella, he'd be in my jurisdiction.
Oh, yeah. I heard there's going to be an election in Coachella. I also heard that you haven't got a chance of winning it. Of course, if you brought in Bonner, that'd do it for you, wouldn't it?
Suppose it did. The killer'd still be tried according to the law.
I'm going to kill Bonner my way. The same way he killed my boy, with this. I hung this up 8 years ago. Partly because of Bonner. For my son's sake, he said. For his future.
Haven't you seen him since?
No. When I do, one of us will be dead. Now, where are those Lawson boys he was riding with?
They're waiting down at the little mining town, Santa Lisa, in case Bonner comes through that way.
With my hands covering the rangeland to the north, we'll probably find Mr. Bonner somewhere in between. We'll catch up with him before sundown.
Cal? I want to talk to you.
Get out of here, Sheriff. I said get out of here. Get on your horse and get off my place. You remember how I used to do it in Julesburg, Bonner?
I remember.
When the ashes fall.
You're gonna take up right where you left off 8 years ago.
Right where I left off.
I didn't kill your boy, Cal.
You're a dirty liar. You knew Jim was coming into town with that money I told you in my letter. You couldn't resist it.
That's not true. And your boy wasn't coming back.
You got maybe one more minute of talk left, Bonner.
He asked me to bring back the money, Cal. The last thing he said to me, he was heading for California.
With this ranch, every head of cattle on it, gonna be his someday, oh no.
He didn't want the place. He didn't want the cattle, nor any part of you.
You expect me to believe that? My own son?
It's true, Cal. Your boy was pulling out on you. I think you knew that. Do you think killing the wrong man will even the score?
You're running out of time, Bonner.
Then there's nothing else I can say.
Looks like somebody's liable to set the barn on fire. I've seen this little game played before. Somebody always ends up getting killed. You two got no reason to play it.
Who are you? What business is this of yours?
Who am I? Well, that's not important. What's important is that Vin Bonner here didn't kill your son. I know who did.
You better know what you're talking about, young lady.
You know what this is? The gunsmith at Cuchilla said it's a .38-40 caliber shell. I found it in the hotel room where your son was killed. I've been around men in saloons long enough to know that Vin Bonner was wearing a .45 caliber Colt. That shell couldn't have come from his gun.
I reckon you never did wear nothing but a .45, Vin. In all the years I've known you. I'm sorry. It's just that my son is the only thing in this world that I was going to leave the ranch, everything I owned to him. Figured I'd pull out maybe by the time we put the yearlings out to graze. That way, maybe he'd think about getting married. Settle down without having to be ashamed of his name or his old man's history. And I heard that he was shot and you'd done it. I didn't question it, Vint. I reckon I didn't think very straight. Now, you said you know who shot him.
Two men named Lawson. One was wearing a fancy gun. They left Cuchilla with the sheriff.
Yeah, they were right here in this ranch last night. Right now they're at a place called Santa Lisa. Reckon I'll just ride over there.
Cal, there were two of them. Let me go with you.
Have to. I'm proud to have you, Vin.
I sent for the federal marshal. I figured I had to. This is his jurisdiction. You had to? Now, suppose Bonner outdrawed Winfield. We'd be right back where we started. Only Bonner'd have two killings behind him. You think Bonner had a chance? Against Cal Winfield? I don't know. From the way Bonner handled himself, I'd say he had a chance against anybody.
He's still only one man. There's three of us. Them are good odds.
This is probably my last job as sheriff of Cuchilla. I don't suppose I've been the greatest of sheriffs, but before I turn in this star, I want to see this thing through. Even if I can't do it, I want to see Bonner brought in. That's why I sent for the federal marshal. Well, in that case, Sheriff, me and Pete will head out. We got a date in Mexico. Ain't we, Pete?
Yeah. Yeah, sure we have.
Winfield, what are you doing?
Bonner didn't kill my son. He was shot with a .38-40 slug. It would have had to come from a special job. A custom-made gun, like Clay Lawson's wearing.
You accusing me, Winfield?
Yeah, maybe I am. This shell fits your gun? Sheriff, I'm going to ask you to wait outside. There's a young lady out there who'll tell you all about this shell. You're going to have 2 prisoners going back to Coachella. They'll be riding without guns. Or they'll be stretched out wearing them. That'll be their choice. Now you can either drop your belts or make your move. If you want to know who you're drawing on, I'll tell you. Vint Bonner here is the only living man that they said was as fast as me.
Hey, what are you doing? What's wait for killing that kid?
We gotta take our chances.
Ain't no man ever backed you down before.
You still got your choice.
Clay, what'd you have to go and drop your gun belt for? 2 against 1. There might be good odds.
The same odds you gave my son.
The sheriff's outside.
I don't know why I didn't kill him. I should have killed him.
Same reason I told your boy. Takes a bigger man to lay him down than it does to use him.
Did you meet up with Cal Winfield?
Yeah, I met him.
What happened? Did you kill him?
No, I didn't kill him. Guess you might call it a draw.
A draw? I ain't never heard of a draw. Not in a gunfight, I ain't. Draw?